Hi everyone, it's December 15th and I'm going to do a short tarot reading on COVID. I'm reading from Mexico. It's very quiet here, not a lot of people. And there are people here that have been affected personally by loss with COVID here in Mexico. Okay, so I'm working on a little surprise for everybody, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's a surprise. I'm going to work on a little project that I'm going to put on my channel. Probably take at least a few weeks to do, maybe longer, but it will be very helpful. So what does the universe have to say about what's going to happen? We're obviously moving into the Christmas season or the holiday season for people and into the new year. If anybody has any questions about anything, like the energy work I do, please feel free to leave them. It's sort of a mystery how it works, so I'll just explain something about it. So what happens is I connect with the person energetically and I become their surrogate. This is practiced in the emotion code. Also, there's people using other methods that are similar with different names, but you connect with the person energetically. I connect with the person energetically, and then I feel what's happening in their body, blockages, heavy energies and things like that, and then just basically clear those energies out. So it's actually pretty profound. And I didn't even think that you could do healing long distance because I always used my hands, but it does help emotionally quite a bit. Okay, so the first card we have is the Justice card upright. So we're in the middle of December. So things are moving towards a more, it's not just about legalities, but it's sort of like it's like a coming together of karma and influences to say that people are going to receive their what they're due, what's fair to them. People are going to receive, things are going to change in a sense that people will feel like, for example, well, I've done all this, I've been, this has happened, what is it for? Okay, so we're moving into a period of time in the present moment where people will see that it wasn't all for nothing, that all of our efforts have been worthwhile. Okay, so whatever that means to you, I think it's really important. I said this last time, we have to remind ourselves that people have done a lot and gone through a lot already. We're moving on to 9 months, for some people longer. So justice is here. Do not worry, okay? Things are going to be worked out. Karma is being played out. We're in a period of evolving ourselves in our consciousness and our awareness. So this is a good omen. Now, this is kind of interesting, the next card, just because of some of the political things that have come out of this crisis. We have the Four of Cups. Okay, so the Four of Cups is like, well, there's an offer being made. So let's just say that the offer being made is the vaccine, okay? So here's an offering of, oh, we might have resolved this issue. And there are people who are very skeptical about this because of, that there hasn't been much time for testing. I know in Canada we have quite strict laws normally around testing any kind of pharmaceuticals before they're allowed to be used by people, by the public. So there's an offer coming forward that we can see. It's in sight, okay? In this month of December, moving into the new year. Some people are going to be like, well, that's all very nice, but I personally don't want it. That's just saying. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. And then we have moving into the middle of January. Well, right next to this Four of Cups, we have the Knight of Cups, whose cup is sort of kind of running empty, okay? So there's an offer, something that strikes the heart. There's an offer of something coming because the cups are all about emotions. But for whatever reason, it's just not going to sit with people. So there might be some kind of process that we're all going to go through around redefining what we feel is best for ourselves, because it's also an offer. So it's like the Four of Cups is an offer coming through. It could be like, for example, somebody's interested in you and you're just like, hey, I care. I'm not really that interested. With respect to COVID, we're looking at, okay, we got some stuff coming through, could be very promising, might help people who are really vulnerable, could even be good for other kinds of illnesses. There's all kinds of possibilities here, but some people are just going to be, not right now, maybe later, don't really want to go there. And then right next to that, we have this card, which is also reversed cups, which is sort of just, let's just let it all flow out. I'm not going to receive that. People aren't going to be completely open, okay? So that's like moving into the middle of January. People are like, well, no, you're offering me something. I'm not completely open. I'm not sure. I have my doubts, okay? And then we move into middle of January. So right next to this card, we have the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is sort of like, it's a release of control. It's when you just finally realize that we don't have control. The universe is going to do what it's going to do. We're affected by things. We make the best of it, but we are not in control, and we have to just sort of let things be, whatever that means. And I don't think that means just, eating a lot of chocolates and sitting in front of the TV 24/7, but just like this emotional awareness around relinquishing, okay? Relinquishing control, because things are still happening that are really affecting people, and losses in families and all kinds of things, right? So there's this grieving that's happening as well. Not for everybody, but for some people there's a lot of grieving and loss. So, moving into a place of, okay, we were scared, maybe we overreacted, then maybe we didn't know anything, and everything seemed maybe like it was even just a lie. Now we're having to let go as we recognize that, some people are really hit hard by this. And, it's really hard when you love somebody and you can't help them, or you can't visit them in the hospital or whatever. This is very difficult. So this is sort of moving into the middle of January, talking about the importance of being able to relinquish and just accept that we do not have control. Control over ourselves and our actions. Not much else around us, okay? Then we have a burst of inspiration coming in February with the Queen of Wands. This could be somebody in a leadership position politically, scientifically. This is a trustworthy person. She's going to be in a position of leadership, so for what's going to happen in the new year. And this is someone who has the ability to see the whole picture, as well as make sure that people are taken care of. So we have a strong female figure in the middle of February that's going to come in, and she's going to be looking out for all of us. She's going to have a great influence on what's going to happen. And then unfortunately, at the end, we have the Seven of Swords reversed. I do not like this card. This card speaks a lot to deception. So, you know, moving into the middle of December. So we go through this very interesting period of like, okay, skepticism, I'm not sure. Maybe just like sort of turning our backs on the possibilities, and then we move into a process of like being more accepting of understanding what's happening. And we have a woman, okay, you know, La Bruja. She's like looking out for us. She's got it all going on, but you know, there's often different forces at play, and sometimes we're not getting all the information. So this card indicates, I'm sorry, but there's going to be misinformation, confusion, betrayal, things like this coming about. I'll just pull a few cards to clarify that before I finish up. Okay, well, we have the King of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles reversed, and the Two of Pentacles reversed. So this would indicate that things are going to be thrown out of balance, whatever that means. So whatever people have sort of managed to organize for themselves, there's going to be an upheaval again with us being able to maintain our stability. Economically, things are going to be quite difficult. We all know that. That's no surprise. You don't need to read cards to know that, because businesses have been closing and people have lost their jobs, that, you know, it's going to take a while to recuperate. And even if we do recuperate, things are not going to look the way they did before. So I think maybe that's part of the hangman, is just acknowledging, you know, everybody's like, why can't we just go back to the way things were before? And over time you realize, things aren't going to be the way they were before. We know that now, and I think we're coming to a place of accepting it and hoping that it's not going to be necessarily all negative, that there'll be some positive things that come out of it. So we have an economic, upheaval, which could affect family life quite a bit, as well as relationships, because of course when people are stressed and, you know, survival is just, you know, being challenged and your balance is sort of thrown off. And we have the King of Swords. So we have some male figure here. Not that the King of Swords is necessarily negative, but he tends to be a bit more, you know, cold, to the point, analytical, intellectual. Not, this is not like a fuzzy, warm kind of person, you know. He can be like that a little bit, but so we have some male figure here who is actually part of this deception. And and the deception also involves, you know, how things are going to be played out with respect to the economy. So I hope wherever you are, you're able to work and feed your family, and able to manage day to day, finding some joy in all of this, so that you know that everything will be okay. Whatever happens along the way, and we don't have control over that. My wellness plan is being here. I feel very lucky to be here. I wish I could just give you all this sunshine and these waves. Okay. See you next week.